Okay, there we go. Now, what happened was that when Jose exited, no, because he was gonna be on his way home, he ended the stream.
Ah, my
Yeah,
God.
he ended the stream. So hopefully, we are back up and going. I do have to apologize for that, but we are back up and going. I did send out.
A Hall of Fame botch on the podcast if I've ever seen one.
Yes. I know. Yes, this deserves a major dumbass moment of the year.
Dummy, yeah. Dummy, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
Yeah, I've already sent out the. There we go.
So we figured out what happened.
Mhm.
Carter already explained. Carter already went through the exposition, dude.
Wow, that's a first. StreamYard Mobile fucked it up, fucked us over.
Wow.
Well, technically, Jose fucked y'all over by ending the stream.
All he wanted to do was just leave the call so that he can focus on getting home. But Mobile said no, we're ending the stream.
just stop the show altogether.
It's just out of nowhere. We are so sorry, fans.
Just stop the show altogether. Stop it. That's it. Show's over.
It was so out of nowhere too. We were just getting ready to go. We were just getting ready for our next topic, and next thing you know, cut off.
Yeah. So hopefully, we hope our fans are back with us. We do apologize. What happened? Jeez. Now, hopefully, this is done correctly.
We're going across the pond. We do apologize in advance, fans. So we're back live. We're back live.
Let's just go on.
Holy fuck, that was wild.
So, all right. So let's get the quick one. Let's get the big one out of the way. After 38 weeks of hellfire and brimstone, the Premier League 2024-2025 campaign finally closes its curtains and calls it a season.
And it was as wild as the final day normally is.
Yes, indeed.
All kicking off at the same time, all happening at the same time. The insanity that came with it was really something else.
But through all the smoke, smolder, ashes, and everything in between, we finally have our top five. We finally have the three teams that finally will be punching their ticket to Europe for European football for next year. So safe to say, after all this hellfire, this season is finally done.
We already knew who was going into Europe going into this. We just didn't know where.
When. But we can officially now say this. Coming in third in the Champions League, shockingly enough, is count 115, aka Manchester City with 71 points.
It really wasn't that shocking, really. It was not shocking. But this was still a colossal fail for their seasons by City standards. This was awful.
Yes, indeed. Coming in fourth.
Absolutely terrible.
Yes, coming in fourth, shockingly just 2 points behind Manchester City, is the Blue Lions of Chelsea FC.
With 69 points.
Very much nice. In a stunning turn of events, thanks to tiebreakers, believe it or not, and they had a massive tiebreaker, Newcastle United will be going to Europe with 66 points.
Champions League. I need to keep reminding this. The top 7 are all going to Europe. It's just the top 5 are going to the Champions League.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Newcastle
is
United.
The most important.
Yeah. Newcastle United will be joining Chelsea and Manchester United along with Arsenal to go to the Champions League, breaking the tiebreaker with Aston Villa with goals defended. Congratulations to Newcastle United.
Differential.
Wait a minute.
That's why I say goal differential. Thank you.
Wait a minute. I didn't think we as in United, we're gonna go to not just the Champions League but Europe. Period. I thought we were somewhere down middle of the table.
Well, you are. Newcastle
Yeah.
United is going to
Oh.
Champions
Well,
League.
that's Manchester United. That's a different story.
Well,
but
Well,
that's Newcastle
Man
United.
U
Aston
had
Villa,
a
even
hint.
though they're not going to be going to.
There was some controversy in how they got in them getting there. There was some screw ups from the refs, and VAR could not intervene with it or do anything about it because the ref had already blown his whistle by the time.
Yeah.
Whistle. But I will play devil's advocate here. Aston Villa was dropping points in critical games like flies. They dropped to Manchester City. They've dropped to Ipswich. They've dropped to Arsenal. They were losing or drawing several games that if they had gotten wins in any of those, we would not be having that discussion. So
yes.
Sit your asses down, Villa.
Yeah, it's a case of woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, but Aston Villa don't need to bitch about it hard enough. You're still going to go play. You're still going to be playing international football, but it's just going to be Europe. You're just going to be going to Europe, okay? Because you did take sixth place, okay, in the Europa League. And 7th place, Nottingham Forest, despite having an ungodly performance, staying in the top 5, unfortunately took a tumble at the last possible moment. Don't be too fret, boys. That mission from God did come up with some good fruit, as y'all going to be going to play in the Europa League next year. So hats off to Nottingham Forest to finish the season strong.
Going to the Conference League.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. But congrats nonetheless to Nottingham Forest on a fantastic campaign this year. Hopefully y'all can keep that up for next year. Okay. And here's how the finale of the champion of the Premier League goes, because all these games played at the same time. So here's how it went. We do have, believe it or not, a couple of kiss your sister moments, as the Wolves of Wolverhampton and the Bees of Brentford both had a kiss your sister moment, tied 1-1 to finish up. The Gunners took care of the Saints of Southampton. 2-1 was the final. The Dogs of Brighton and Hove. Brighton and Hove took care of the Spurs Tottenham 4-1. Everton FC.
Spurs were pretty much Spurs had a hangover. They just threw this one away.
I mean, they did. Everton FC took care of Newcastle. 1-0 was the final. Chelsea took care of Nottingham Forest. 1-0. Zach might get a little smile out of this. Man, you took care of Aston Villa. 2-0 was the final.
Hey!
The Hammers of West Ham took care of Ipswich Town in their final game in the Premier League, 3-1.
Hey, I get more to smile about because West Ham is my other club.
Yep.
So hold on. I got a question. So since this is the last game in the Premier League, they get demoted to.
Yeah, Ipswich Town. Thanks for coming. Enjoy.
They go down to the championship.
Yep, the second division.
As do Southampton and Leicester.
Yep. So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Ipswich Town. Hope you enjoyed your 1 year on the top flight. So go back down to the second division. Man City took care of Fulham FC 2-0. The Cherries of AC Bournemouth took care of the Foxes 2-0. And then to wrap it all up in a nice little bow, we had a battle of the champions as the Premier League champions and the FA Cup champions battle it out, and they drew to a 1-1 tie.
Awful. We did not win a single game after clinching the title.
I just want to point this out.
There's a lot of work to do.
Hold on. I just want to point this out as a guy who doesn't watch soccer whatsoever. I'm just glad this season's over. I'm just going to leave it at that. As a guy who doesn't watch hockey, I'm just glad this season's over. I'm pretty sure Gervik is getting a very, very much needed break.
All right.
I mean, yeah. Soccer's all around. There's still the MLS season is still going on. The Club World Cup is coming in the summer. The Gold Cup is coming around the same time. There's a lot.
And of course this Saturday is the Champions League final in Munich as PSG and Inter Milan are about to go head to head. So hoist the Champions League trophy.
Yep. And so Napoli also won the Scudetto. They beat over. They needed a win. They needed a win and they got it. So they have taken their second Italian title in the last 3 seasons. Spurs, as you can imagine, they won. The reason they threw this away, they won the Europa League over Man U, which I don't know where Man U goes from here. They better keep Eric Ten, not Ruben Amorim. They better keep him because it's gonna be bad. And speaking of Eric Ten Hag, Bayer Leverkusen, you fucking idiots! Somewhere Hit Kid is laughing at you right now, somewhere, and Sunderland, the third and final club to be promoted to the Premier League. An 8-year absence completely gone. Also, Toluca won.
An 8-year absence finally washed away.
Won the Closera in Liga MX, their first title in 15 years. And Arsenal, well,
nice.
The women know how to win Champions League because they did it against Barcelona.
Yeah, they won the Women's Champions League trophy, so at least the women know how to win.
Mm-hmm. All right. Get it over with. Get your toxicity out already, please.
You're good, Jose. You're good.
At least we got all right. Well, all right. So, with all that being said, safe to say, even though that Britain has finally wrapped up their season, they're now getting ready for the off season and possibly next year's campaign.
I'm fucking waiting.
It's still funny as hell what happened. But
yeah. Hold on. You try being the guy that stopped the whole show just because he wanted to leave.
Oh Lord! Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Okay, easy over there, Bill O'Reilly.
He said Bill O'Reilly. Wow, what the fuck?
All right. Anyways, all right. Now that we have had our trip across the pond, let's head back because it's now time for the main event.
Give me a sec.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the conference finals in the NBA has been going on steady and strong.
Yeah.
Before we even start, it's good to see Jose transmogrified into Cody Hagen.
Yo, golly! Wait, Bedlam, why are there 2 Bedlams in here?
That's weird. Okay, there we go.
There we
Anyways, so yes, with the NBA Conference Finals is in full swing, and like I said in the NHL, the brooms have been snapped on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I just want to point this out. Hold on. Let me just point this out. Going out west, what a game last night between the Thunder and the Timberwolves.
It was a brutal fight at the Paycor Center between OKC and Minnesota. Give Minnesota credit. They tried.
Hold on, Jacob. That game was at the Paycor Center. The game was at the Target Center. It was game 4.
Oh, is that? Target Center. My apologies. Names. But give Minnesota credit. They put up a hell of a fight against OKC, but unfortunately, OKC's consistency could not overcome, and no matter how hard they tried, and just fell just short of evening up the series. OKC takes the lead, OKC takes the lead 3-1 heading into Game 5.
Let me just point this out that at some point, first and foremost, everyone thought that the Timberwolves got right back in the series when they just flat out dominated over the Thunder in Game 3. of this series. Let me check it. Let me check and see what the score was last Saturday. Yeah, 143 to 101. They thought
Yeah.
everyone thought that everyone thought that the Timberwolves came right back in this series, and you know what? They took the fight to Oklahoma City in Game 4, but down the stretch they just lost it.
They
And
just they ran out of gas, and OKC had more than enough in the tanks to deliver the knockout blow to take Game 4.
Are we sure that it's the Timberwolves that ran out of gas, or is it their main role players are not doing their job? Because that's more of the problem.
Can we say both?
No, I would
move on.
No, I'm not going to do both. I'm not going to do both because Anthony Edwards should have been playing his job. If he was playing up to par, they would have won.
He's got a point.
He let the team down.
He's got a point.
If you're supposed to be the team leader, you need to step up and lead.
He's got a point. If I take a look, I'm gonna pull up the stats for both teams here. Come here, team comparison. Thank you very much. Not that. Come here. Give me a summary. Hey, thank you. If I take a look at the stats here, yeah, Anthony Edwards only put up 16 points throughout that game, hitting 5 for 13, and only hit one three-pointer on that. You know.
Mm-hmm. And where did he go?
And only got 4. Yeah, only got 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. No, Anthony Edwards needs to step up. No, we've been saying how great Anthony Edwards is throughout this whole playoff run. He can't have games like this in which he barely shows up.
Not against Oklahoma. Not against Oklahoma City, where their best players, Williams and Alexander, combined scored for 74 points all night long. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this needs to be an opportunity. He needs to step up here because if he doesn't, Oklahoma City is going right back to the NBA Finals for the first time since the days of Kevin Durant.
Thankfully for them, they won't have Durant to choke a 3-1 lead and then run away to join the Golden State Warriors. Pussy. Pussy.
I think that, let me just point this out. You know, Minnesota, Game 5 is at the Paycor Center tomorrow night. Yep. One of two things has got to happen. Either you step up or you get ready to head on up to Cancun.
Step up or sit down.
Yeah, either step up or step out. Okay, because there's no half-assed when it comes to the chance to go to the NBA Finals. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me just also point this out. Don't sleep on Minnesota either. Minnesota step up. They have coming back 3 games. There, but they need to step up.
Sorry if I'm not talking much, my night aide is actually working in my room currently.
We totally understand.
That's fine, Zach. No
we
problem.
Totally understand. I just want to point this out.
That's understandable.
Like I said, let me just point this out. Like I said, so this is a must-win situation for the Timberwolves here. No question about it. This is a must-win situation. Either you pick up, step up, or step aside.
Mm-hmm.
Just simple as that. Either you step up, or you get ready to go ahead and book a one-way flight to Cancun. That's all there is to it.
Yep. So you better bring it, boys, because Oklahoma City's bringing it.
Mm-hmm. Now, meanwhile, head on out to the East Coast. Well, technically, the Pacers and the Knicks are looking very, very interesting, fellas. Pacers lead the series 2-1 so far. Indiana beat New York in New York twice, and then New York came back from a 20-point deficit.
Indiana hit them with the opening salvo, and then New York hit them with the counter back at the field house. You know,
they had a salvo of their own. That's what happened.
Yeah.
There's another key part to that.
Now, let's dissect this. What this actually is. One, I'm going to use this as a "told you so" moment of my own. Anyone who had this series going to 5 games, I think you're being stupid. I know who I'm calling out on this one.
Yeah, kid.
You? Hit Kid had the sense to say 6. You said 5.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad if it goes to 6 games. I wouldn't.
I'll take my salt and move on, honestly. So fucking go ahead.
Here's the truth. As much as people don't want to admit it, and as much as the Cody hate is a big reason why that was done, face facts. The Pacers are a good team. You don't predict a team going out in 5 games after they just beat Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm not denying.
I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Hey, I'm not denying.
They beat the best team in the Eastern Conference, decisively, mind you. 4-1 is not easy to do, not to another team. And the fact that they did that should be commended, especially when you have Tyrese Halliburton playing out of his ass. So, good job, Pacers. You also deserve a lot of shit for blowing a 20-point lead in Game 3. Because what the fuck are you doing? When did you transmogrify into the Boston Celtics? I expect those choke jobs from the Celtics.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, just
Hey, look here, Celtics. You wouldn't have did any better against Indiana or Detroit for that matter either. So.
Oh, he's got you there. He's got you there.
This is what happens when you decide to shoot threes the entire game and decide that, 2-pointers aren't good enough. Let's shoot
When you live by the 3, you die by the 3. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know what? You got the There's no denying that.
Arrogant idiots. You could have been in the championships against the Pacers, but you decided to go by the 3s, and now the Knicks are here. Congratulations, you morons. I have no sympathy for the Celtics whatsoever, outside of Jason Tatum. That's it. And I have no sympathy for the Pacers if they manage to blow this series, because they had the lead. And if you blow this lead, boy, oh boy, we're going to be having a talk.
Yep, and we'll have to see what happens. That game is coming up at just under at the top of the hour on TNT and at the Fieldhouse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Must win for both teams, obviously. You won a 3-1 lead. You won it, so you can be 1 game closer. And you obviously won a 2-2 because it evens the series out. So we're going to see who has ball.
Let's see who has the biggest cojones and who has the better game plan. Are we going to see a 3-1 series lead for Indiana, or are we going to be or is my finger coming out of the basement?
There's this graphic. The Knicks have had have 3 20-point comebacks this postseason, and the Pacers have had 2.
Well, let's keep in mind that 2 of those 3
Hey,
comebacks.
hold on. Where did those 2 come from?
Boston.
I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I wonder why.
Jumped right into that one, didn't I?
Yes,
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Boston could have won that series in 5 games. Instead, y'all decided to sleepwalk on your 3-pointers and then get your ass beat. And you want me to sit here and feel bad for the entirety of the team when Jason Tatum out here had to tear his Achilles for y'all to finally wake up. Congratulations. You played yourselves. And you lost to a team that honestly was beatable. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. You are the reigning defending champions and you got smacked because y'all can't handle a physical team. Stop relying on 3-pointers. And trust me, the NBA is to blame for that too, because you let everyone shoot 3-pointers. There's nothing wrong with shooting 2-pointers. Nothing wrong with it. At all.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. Just that everybody wants to be Stephon Curry all of a sudden.
You got Draymond Green out here shooting 3-pointers. I don't want to see a mule. I don't want to see a mule shooting 3-pointers. Oh, hee-haw. A donkey shooting 3-pointers. What are we doing here?
You know something? I just want to point this out. Draymond Green would be a great guy for Hee Haw. That old
He's
that old country comedy show that used to come on way back when.
Yes,
I,
Um,
I know what you're talking about.
Oh
mhm,
my god.
yes. The country music nerd in me knows exactly what Hee Haw was.
mhm,
Anywho, besides the point, we got the game number 4 of this series coming tonight between the Knicks and the Pacers. Both
mhm.
teams need to be on top of their game because if you're not, the consequences are going to hurt a lot more.
Hmm.
Now I do have an update on the injury situation with Aaron Naismith. He's going to be available. Yeah, he's going to be
Yeah,
available for
from what?
tonight's game.
Yeah, that injury is not so serious from what we've heard. So he is going to be.
And
He is going to
that's
be.
bad news right there.
Yeah,
If
so
you're
he is
the
going to be
Knicks.
available for tonight against the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, and that's
against the Knicks.
bad news right there for New York.
So
I swear, if New York lets this dude shoot off 10 3-pointers in this game, call this series over.
Mhm.
before we bring out the cat,
Hold on, Jacob. We got some more news. Russell Wilson, he had surgery on his right hand.
Ooh,
Good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so he
Good.
had surgery. Yeah, he had surgery. Russell Wilson had surgery on his right hand. He had surgery on his right hand to repair 2 fractures that happened during the season. So he's already thinking of a comeback. So yeah, if I might be back before the season gets started. Before
we'll
the
have to see
season
what
gets
happens.
underway. Now, meanwhile,
I
let
hope
me
it
also
doesn't. It'd
bring
be
this
funny.
up. Yeah, let me also bring this up. He has until June the 29th to opt in into his $3.3 million player option that he has with the Denver Nuggets for next season.
Speaking of opt-ins, we might be hearing that the King is in talks about possibly opting in for his final year on his contract with the Lakers.
Mm.
So we don't know for sure if whether or not the King, LeBron James is going to be staying in LA or is he going to be bouncing out.
Mm-hmm. Now, we spoke about Anthony Edwards. He spoke about what happened last night. He said, and I quote, I don't look at it like I struggled or Julius Randle struggled. They just had
Stop.
a good game.
Stop
Hold on.
right away. Stop
Okay.
right away.
Stop it. You gotta let him
Right
finish.
away.
Stop. Good
Stop right
players
there.
don't make excuses. They just admit it, improve, and move on.
I don't want to hear Anthony Edwards make a statement because if they were winning this series, he'd be talking a little less like this. Tia, you are part of the reason why they're struggling to get a hold of a good win against the Thunder. You are a part of the reason. You are a part of the team. You and Julius Randle are failing the Timberwolves. You cannot expect Rudy Gobert to do everything. You cannot expect your entire bench to do everything. Play up to the standard that you're being asked to. Stop making excuses.
Yes, agreed with Jamal. Don't make excuses for piss poor performance.
Stop
If you
bullshitting
get-
yourself.
If you get swept, well, you get 4-1'd, guess what? You look like a loser. Which is what you'll be, a loser.
All right, let's make a quick trip across the pond for the NBA Europe situation.
We do.
Oh.
Yeah, let's get on. Let's talk about that situation so far. Anyways, go ahead.
So there has been some teams that have been more interested in the FIBA Champions League and a potential NBA year situation. However, there was a general meeting today in Geneva between all 3 sides. So this coming from Eurohoops.net. After many conflicting messages from both sides, FIBA, NBA Europe, EuroLeague management, and EuroLeague club/shareholders met in Geneva with the FIBA initiative to discuss the future of European basketball. Except for the EuroLeague committee, which is a EuroLeague working group on the matter, all EuroLeague clubs with an A license were represented, with CSKA Moscow being the only absent club. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you why.
Yeah.
This is the first meeting that was so
I
extended
don't
with
know.
with
You might just speed
with
up on me
Euro.
because I don't know what happened.
This is the first meeting that was so extended with EuroLeague marketing partner IMG also represented, while managing partner of the year NBA Europe and Middle East George Ivazoglu was present, as was FIBA Secretary General Andrea Zaklik, FIBA Europe President Jorge Garbosa, FIBA Europe Executive Director Camille Novak. Barcelona even shared a social media photo of the meeting confirming the club's presence. The general mood of the talks was positive, and subjects like the FIBA windows and the letter of clearance rule applied to the NCAA were on the table. However, the EuroLeague clubs were also informed that they would have to pay a participation fee to enter the new project, which also created a level of skepticism between them. With the NBA aiming to launch its European League in collaboration with FIBA in the 2026-27, it remains to be seen if that is the first step towards a joint future or not. So a lot to digest. So there is a lot. So this is something I'm going to be something to really keep an eye on in the coming weeks or months, especially in the off season. It'll be something to really keep a close eye on.
Most interesting, honestly. We'll have to see let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I was about to say now, before I do unleash the cat, I hear this. We do need to hit this real quick.
This is wow, we got a new thing. Anyways, yeah, we're making this a little quick because earlier this Sunday, we had the traditional races of May with the of course the Coca-Cola 600 in NASCAR, but the big one, of course, was the Indianapolis 500 at IMS.
Yeah, let me just bring this up real quick because the Indy 500 they averaged 7.5 million viewers.
Yeah, which was a big increase from last year. But more than that, it was also more viewers to watch the Indy 500 than what happened in Daytona with the Daytona 500.
That's true. This is the most views they had since 2008. And also runner-up Marcus Eckerson.
Yeah. Marcus Eckerson. Yeah,
Eckerson. He got penalized. He dropped all the way down to 31st.
Yeah, after a failed post-race inspection, realized that he had some faults on his IndyCar that gave him that penalty that dropped him to 31st on the grid.
Yeah, so you gotta go back to the woods, buddy. Also, Gatorade is going to sponsor some Formula One sprint races coming up.
Yes, Gatorade is going to become a big major. Is going to be now venturing into the world of Formula One, coming into some upcoming sprint races heading into this season. Congratulations. Also, congratulations to the winner of the Indy 500. I'm pulling up his name, Alex Palou, winning the 109th running. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, also over in NASCAR, Chastain. I know I butchered his name.
Ross Chastain.
Yeah, so he won.
Yeah, in a stunning move for being near dead last in the race to winning the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte.
I said so. By the way, NASCAR's next race is in Nashville. At the Nashville Super Speedway.
Yep. And of course, in F1 world, we had, of course, the annual race in Monaco, which was controversial in itself because they tried to bring in more creativeness by adding a two-stop thing, but it kind of blew up in their faces.
It did not work. It was boring.
Yeah.
They need to reduce. They really need to do something about Monte Carlo. They really need to do. They track you. It is almost impossible to overtake unless unless somebody does a pit stop. The track is too.
There's a reason why
the track is too short. The cars are now way too heavy and bulky. There's no room for overpasses. They either need to fix the track. They either need to make modifications to the track or do something, or just flat out just shelve it, even if it's just for a little while. Shelve it and try something else, because it's not working, because it's not feasible right now.
Me and Gurak knows this phrase. You always hear whenever you watch the Monaco Grand Prix. You always hear the phrase Monaco train. It is like that because due to the fact of how narrow the track is and how wide the race cars are, you will see the Monaco train no matter what, because of the fact that there's no way you can pass.
All right, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that in mind, it's almost time for us to wrap this up. So since it's almost time for us to wrap this up, let's go ahead and lish out the cat.
What did we learn on the show tonight, Greg? Meow, 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 meow.
On key.
I am not seeing 3 at this point.
It's Damien, Maddie, and Eric. So shut up.
Oh my God!
It is. Yeah, it's our own version of a quartet, but it's a triplet.
Yeah, it's a trio.
Okay, fair enough.
Basic mathematics, bro. Come on now.
All right. But yes.
Never use StreamYard Mobile. That's what I learned. Never use StreamYard Mobile.
Oh, geez. You have the hard way.
What did we learn? StreamYard Mobile needs to have a feature for those who are mods to their broadcasts.
Wait, I got a question. How did you get StreamYard on your cell phone, Jose? You just downloaded the app or something?
No, I just used the link in the description.
Oh, okay then. Gotcha. And just bound to happen.
This episode is the reason why Carter is the HNIC.
Ain't that the truth? I'm going to check some score. We do have some score updates on the Diamond as we speak. I'm going to run that down. Dodgers are leading the Guardians 4-0, bottom of the 4th.
And it begins.
Cardinals are leading the Orioles 3-0, bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, Twins are leading the Braves 2-0. This game is headed to the bottom of the 2nd.
Phillies are leading the Braves 1-0, top of the 3rd.
Tigers are leading the Giants 2-0. That game is headed to the bottom of the 3rd. This game is headed to the bottom of the 1st. The White Sox are leading the Mets 2-0.
Yeah. Those are the games. Yeah.
Yeah,
you heard it.
Don't worry, fellas. There's gonna be one of those games. Unfortunately, you think you're ahead. As I say, you think you're ahead, and then next thing for you know, you find yourself on the short end of the stick. That's the truth. Sad but true. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on I guess we could call it a double header version of our podcast.
A double header edition of the podcast.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go with that.
Unintentional.
Yeah, this is unintentional, but we thank you so much for we thank you so much for sticking with us through both of them. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. First and foremost, if you like what you see,
I think good idea actually.
If you like what you see, first and foremost, please hit the subscribe button. Then like this video, share this video. When you do hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell so that you know whenever we stream. I do want to thank Jamal. I want to thank
Zach.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey. I want to thank Jeffrey for joining us here. I want to thank Zach for joining us here. Of course, I want to thank Gurak for joining us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the first one to tell you. May is coming to a close and not a moment too soon.
Yes, it is. June is coming up, and this means one thing. I don't point this out. The June is coming up. This means one thing. It is time for the blistering heat of the summer.
Oh well.
Yeah, the dog's gonna be on. It's about to start barking.
Yeah, the temperature's gonna be going up through the roof, going up through the roof, both outside and on the sports world.
Absolutely. One more
So for our boys
Remember.
on the diamond, I got one thing to say for you. Buckle up.
Yeah. I think Jose, you wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah, I wanted to put something in real quick before we kill the show. For those of you, if you know me, you know I'm a chaotic bastard. Everybody knows that. So here's a mission from an Instagram channel called Freakbait.
Today's mission. With clear fishing line, tie a bunch of tin cans to the back of the target's car, and then hide them underneath.
Take off. Yo, you hear that?
Huh?
Am I tripping? Oh, what? What is that? Look. Dude, I'm not tripping. What is that? You're tired. Dead ass.
Bro! Congrats, dude.
Well, the channel is Agent of Chaos, but you know, Freakbait's there too. They have a whole lot of chaotic missions for you. So, if you're doing and causing a whole lot of chaos, there you go.
All right. You know what? I really hope we don't get copyright strike for that.
We are not. We are
will go
not.
after us, but
Freakbait is an original
give him a
channel.
shout out. Go check out Freakbait over on his Instagram. He puts. It's safe to say he is either chaotic. I think he's chaotic neutral because he is kookier than a pet coon.
Yeah, that's not helping. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
No, it's not.
Yeah, like I said.
seen it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule joining us here this evening. Hope that everyone, as we brought up on the earlier part of this show in the last video, once again, thank you, Jose. As we brought up on the earlier part of the last video, we want to salute the military for fighting for our freedom. We honor you. We salute you on this Memorial Day. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it our day to strike our ego. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like I said, so we salute you, we honor you, and we thank you for your service. All right, then, Jacob, go ahead and take us home.
With pleasure. Thank you very much. Yeah. This episode was interesting to say the least, but it was a good episode to say the least. And what a way to end the month of May for us in our sake. And we're gonna have a lot more to come to say the least once we hit the month of June because the NBA and NHL playoffs are heating up, which means and if everything goes to plan, the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals could be set in stone, ladies and gentlemen. We are not only down to four on each side, but only two will get to have the honor and the privilege to fight for the right to hoist the Larry O'Brien on the courts. And
hold on, Jacob. Almost forgot to say. Yes, we have no Ubers. We had no new Ubers today, but we will have the Ubers back.
Not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
Next week, that might change concerning of what could happen this week. This starting tonight. So I suggest for our boys on the commentary, for our boys in the live chat, and boys here, keep your eyes on the televisions because you never know what could happen. But and of course the MLB, well, it's about to be the second most important section of the year, which is the dog days of summer. That's when the real stuff kicks in. We're about to see which teams are really going to be playoff contenders and which teams are already getting their golf clubs ready to go. and of course the speed season's already continued their runs. Of course, with IndyCar and F1 doing their things. Of course, the NASCAR schedule will continue on as well. And of course, the NFL is doing their off season as well. With OTAs about to kick off. We're about to see who's getting their teams ready to go for the upcoming 2025-2026 seasons. So, if you like what you saw with episode 176, and we do apologize again for what happened, then please do us all a favor and subscribe to the VWU Sports Podcast channel. And if you like this from both sides of the videos, then please like the videos and share them across all social media platforms. That being, of course, Facebook, Twitter, and Blue Sky. We don't touch Instagram for TikTok for two reasons. 1, Instagram is too toxic even for us, and 2, TikTok is well TikTok. And if you like what you saw from episode 176, and you want to be notified when we go live, which is every Tuesday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on our YouTube channel, then by all means, hit the bell. And you'll be notified when we go live and on the air. Until then, we need to go get ready for some hot action on the ice and on the courts. Until then, for my boys, Jeffrey, Zach, Jamal, and our boy Durock, for our executive producer Jose, and my co-host Brandon, and the HNIC Carter. This is JB. We are signing off. We will see you guys in the month of June for episode 177 of the VWU Sports Podcast. Until then, y'all stay safe, y'all stay cool, and y'all have yourselves a good night, everybody.
Now you ain't in the stream.
Ay, fuck StreamYard.